Hello, I'm MBX Toycat, and welcome back to the second channel video. Today I wanted to talk about the new year, because new year means new you to some people, and basically I just wanted to talk about New Year's resolutions, because this is a very topical thing this time of year, and because last year I was very clear in my New Year's resolution video that, like, I am making these as deliberate goals that I should look back upon and judge myself on. So today I'm going to be judging my 2016 resolutions, where I succeeded or failed on them, and then talking about what my 2017 ones are. And because I'm doing it on the internet, I think it's a cool way just to, one, share them with you, but also two, it makes me more likely to be able to do them, because I have to go back at the end of this year and be like, Toycat, you messed up, or Toycat, you did good. So that's what we're doing today. I'm going to be talking about my New Year's resolutions from both last year and this year. Hopefully you'll do enjoy it. So with that said, let me just quickly mention a couple of things before I start here. One, my voice is, like, not entirely there. You can probably work out. It was New Year's, like, 2 days ago, so that's why. And two, again, my hair's a little bit of a mess. It's been a while. I'm gonna get it, like, sorted at some point before I fly to America, which is in just a week now, by the way. Like, life is going pretty crazy this year already, and I'm really pleased in general just how the year went. But to look at very specific New Year's things, let's go through them one by one. So I watched my other video. You can too if you want to, and I skimmed through and I got kind of 4 key points as to, like, my big goals for 2016, and I kind of did all of them. So there's one I was, like, unambiguously successful on, which was be more successful, like, online, you know, so, because that was my first, kind of year of doing YouTube full-time. This is my first full year of doing YouTube full-time, and, yeah, basically, I have been more successful in pretty much any metric in 2016 than I was in 2015, so, you know, by, like, total views, by total revenue, by total watch time, but if you pick any, by subscriber total, at least, if you take any metric from 2015 and compare it to 2016, 2015 loses. The only one where you can kind of argue it's not is December of 2015 was very slightly more, had more views than December of 2016, but because of the fall in the pound, it's technically more profitable. I'd say by like 95% of metrics you can think of, I was more successful this year than last year, especially when you consider the second channel started exploding at the end of the year. Like, now it's got, like, its own audience for some reason, and you consider, like, the Amazon ebooks. Basically, life, it's going good. Well, been successful, which is pretty cool for, like, myself. There was, like, 5 or so years of my life where I just wasn't successful, and to actually be doing something every day as well was having, you know, I really enjoy what's going on this year. I just feel good about that. So, resolution number 1, succeeded, unambiguously. Second resolution, it was something to do with weight. I think I mentioned that, I'd lost, I think it was like 2.5 stone in 2015. I was like, let's just lose a little bit more this year. And technically, I feel like I succeeded in the spirit of this one, but not the wording, because, again, it went like this year, you know, like, lost a little bit, went into America, ate a lot of Slurpees, lost a little bit, ate a lot of Slurpees, lost a little bit, ordered like 3 or 4 pizzas in a row. You know, you kind of went through that the whole year, but, like, towards the end, as it, like, stabilized a bit more, I ended up at the exact same place I've started, but the one different thing is, like, I think because I've exercised a bunch more, it's got to be healthier to be at this current weight now than then. I think so. So in spirit, I think I succeeded. In the actual, you know, deliberate wording of, like, oh yeah, lose a little bit more weight or whatever. Because, again, I'm not actually overweight or anything like that. I mean, you can judge that for yourself. Like, I don't know for sure if I am, but it's like, I think I'm, like, the exact average weight for my height or whatever, but I was just like, you know what, it'd be cool to be a tiny bit below average, and I'm just right now exactly average. Oh, actually, like, I'm the tiniest bit below average, but, like, not any real amount below average, which I think average isn't a good thing in, you know, the world of 2017, to be fair, so who knows anymore. I'm just saying that technically, I think I succeed in spirit, but not in wording, so I'll give myself half a successful resolution for that. The third resolution was to do with dating, because 2015 was, like, the first year I'd, like, done, like, actual real people adult dating, because obviously when you're, like, 16, 17, 15, 18, you know, when you're younger, you don't really do it in the more traditional way, as little sense as that makes, but I really enjoyed it in 2015, because I had that worst date story, which I only really went through this year. I had, like, the weirdest, like, I could go, each of those is, like, its whole own story in its own right, and I really like the story, but also the way you do it, because it's a challenge. It's a social challenge mixed with being able to meet people very, very different than you otherwise would if you're just like, oh yeah, I'll ask my barrister out, or, you know, I'll just accidentally get drunk somewhere and hope someone ends up in my... Like, those are just awful ways to, like, not that I ever do both those things to the record, but, like, I think those systems compared to, like, the crazy thing that, like, I was kind of implying was pretty good. But, so in 2016, I don't think I technically succeeded by the wording, because I was like, go on more dates with more women. It was something exactly like that. But, because of the end goal of those things is to get into a relationship, and the first person I dated in 2016 was, like, February or something like that. Like, February the 1st was someone I actually met through YouTube, because they were, like, I'll be really, really brief on the story, because, like, other people's details, and also it's kind of weird because I try to avoid like any form of contact with people, like, because there's almost like a thing with that. But yeah, basically I'd met them through YouTube. They ended up being like someone who was in chat a lot, and then we met, and then it ended like, because they were in like a private Skype chat thing, and then like, oh yeah, now like it's a real date thing. And the weird thing about it is that it turned into like a real relationshipy thing. And but the thing is I think I succeed in terms of just like, that is a lot more dates technically, but because obviously again that's how it happened, I'm trying to like be as specifically non-specific as I can, which is very hard here. But I think you're getting the point of what I'm saying here. It was a good time in general. Ended for like somewhat recently actually, for I guess reasons that weren't in my control or her control. Just like, that's how it ends sometimes. But I think the general experience was very good. I think I would not take back the 2016. I think if 2015 Toy Cat looked at 2016 Toy Cat, saw the whole thing, he'd be like, good job, or whatever. Like, sucks about the ending there, but the cookies here, by the way. Sucks about the ending there, but at least the process was good, and you know, now you see more positive attributes in people. Before that, like, I don't know, I guess I've learned some more positive things about people. I've learned that just because you meet them through the internet or whatever, it doesn't mean that they're, you know, like there's any real problems or issues there. In fact, sometimes that's how you find the really kind, nice people that actually do like you. So, wonderful point there. I think I'm going to count that as like a success, but by the wording of it, it's a half success. So that's 2 half successes and regular success. And the final one was to go to every single country in the EU. So there are 29. Oh, is it 20 or 29? You know, I think it's 20. It's going to be 28 after the UK leaves again. Actually, wait. Let me. Gonna check. Okay, how many EU countries? Because I know. So Croatia is the most recent one, and they didn't count. So there was the EU. There's 28 countries, including Croatia. So it's going back down to 27. Which will increase the number of them I've been to. No, it won't, because I've been to the UK, darn it. But yeah, basically, so my goal for 2016 was to go to every country in the EU before the referendum, which was it was going to be happening originally in 2017. So I was like, I'll go to all the countries, and then I'll have the best opinion on this referendum. I'll be truly informed. But yeah, so because that happened midway through the year, and then it obviously went the way, which means it's not as important, because I figured, you know what, the EU is kind of like this supranational state, that's fine. But let's go check it all out. Like, if you're in the US, you should check out all 50 states or whatever. And I went to 18, I think, in the total by the end of the year, which is pretty good. That's like more than 50%, but it's not all of them. But again, in spirit, because it's not so important, now there's no referendum in 2017. Oh, that's going to be a bummer. I don't get to like tick yes or no on any boxes. But yeah, basically, I went to like 18 or like 17 or 16 or something. The majority of EU countries, and I probably still go to the rest of them at some point. It's just not quite as high a priority after, you know, something like that. So, progress, I think, maybe, sort of. I don't know. Anyway, so that's like 3 halves and a full resolution achieved. 2.5 out of 4, I think. Not bad for personal goals, given they're all like kind of poorly worded and kind of ambitious. But this year, one of my resolutions, given that I did pretty well last year, but not 1,000%. Well, funny you asked that. Well, you didn't ask. Well, you might be mentally asking that, but funny you asked that, because the first one is, again, I'm gonna like use the same kind of model, but then make it a bit more specific. Because first one is going to be here to, I guess in the success front, but specifically to have 2 of these 3 things happen. So I do like 3 things professionally right now, if you exclude the Mobcrush streaming, which I guess kind of ties into YouTube in some way, and so does the YouTube streaming. But yeah, basically, there's this my main channel has just over 700,000 subscribers. Go get that to 1 million by the end of the year. That requires getting about 1,000 every day, so whether that's possible or not, who knows? Like, I'm going to try my hardest, of course. Get this channel to 100,000 by the end of the year. That is going to be a gain of 5 times its current size. But it has been blowing up recently, so if that just keeps happening, then we'll get to a silver play button by the end of the year. So I guess goal is to get 2 play buttons by the end of the year, because I've got 1 right now. Let's just get, you know, whether it's another silver one or a gold one, I'd like that regardless. It'll look nice in my background in my new studio, which is, by the way, still being worked on. It's being painted as we talk, and the bathroom's being done soonish. Long story, all being worked on though. Second goal, so the third final thing, sorry, because I wanted 2 of these 3 things. So I'm going to be really brief about this, because like, I'll let you know all about what the actual thing's about at some point. But I write Amazon ebooks, Kindle books, like they're relatively short things, I guess, about a variety of like mobile apps, like guides and stuff. And one of them was incredibly successful this year. It was like one in the top 2,500 Kindle books on the entirety of the free store. It's like the #1 in video games and like the #1 in Minecraft. It's like the #1 in a lot of different things, and I was pretty pleased about that. Like, a lot better than I figured I'd do. Next year, let's have another book equally as successful as this one. So I want to do 2 of those 3 things this year. That's how I'll consider that I've done a true success. Like, taken forward like, significantly 2 of my 3, like, I guess, online sources of income this year. I guess that's how you could refer to it as. So yeah, that's a first goal, be more successful, but I'm being specific this time. Second goal, by the way, if you're curious about the whole book thing, I really wouldn't recommend looking it up. I'm going to release, like, one called, like, 69 things you didn't know about the world, or some ridiculous number, like 53 things, or 101 things, and I'll do a whole thing about that, because I want people to see the sorts of facts that they might want to read, whereas this is stuff that, like, people who are searching for Minecraft Book Edition might find. So Cookie wants to go out, I think. It's going to be a bit awkward for me to do. Anyway, Cookie. So, I'm trying to figure a knock, because otherwise she'll start meowing, and I'll feel bad, because I'm recording a video, and I should be opening the door to get her out there. Anyway, though, let's move on to the second goal, which is going to be, do something I don't like every day. So this is something I'm going to do after I get back from America, just because, you know, it's weird to start routine somewhere else. You want to start it in your home place. I think, I could be wrong on the science behind that, maybe I'm just being lazy. I want to do something I don't like every day, which I know sounds awful, but, like, for the longest time, my life was just about stabilizing happiness in a place where, like, I can be happy with the world every day in some way or something. And that's why I've structured, I guess, my life in a particular way. And that's good. I still want to have lots of happy, fun time moments in the world, yep. But I want to do something I don't necessarily like every day. So whether that's, like, exercise, you know, throw that in the routine, whether that's, like, have a ice-cold shower in the morning to always wake me up, whatever it is, I end up doing, you know, waking up at, like, 7 in the morning so I can always get grinding, or whatever people say. Whatever the term is, I think I want to do something I don't like every day and have that be in the routine. Because one, it provides room to be emptied later if it needs to be. Like, oh yeah, not feeling it anymore, gotta do that. I mean, that's a bad reason, but that's like the very worst case thing you can see from it. But two, it's just like, yeah, if you usually the things you don't like are the things that are kind of beneficial, and I think I have a happiness quota in my life that I can throw away if it means more long term, whatever the term would be, like motivation, success, blah 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 blah. So yeah, that's the second goal: to have a routine of doing something I don't necessarily like every day. Because yeah, I'm fortunate enough to, if I really wanted to, I could live my life of just eat candy floss, live stream YouTube, and then watch Rick and Morty in the evening. But you know, I actually am gonna throw something in there I don't necessarily want, and it's gonna be just fine like that. So the third goal here is to continuation of last one, to actually meet more people, and I guess more people from different places, because one of the cool things I really like that, again, every single person I've met through any form of internet-y thing has been a story in itself. Like, I know this is like, to some amount of people that can be like, nope, that's weird and that's sad or whatever, that's fine. But like, when you meet people because they actually share your interests rather than because they share your physical location, like, you know, think about, even 50 years ago, you're limited to the pool of people you can walk towards, or actually, the cars probably existed 50 years ago, but, you know, you're limited to such a tiny area, and even then, you're not going to find those people ever. But now we live in a world where you might be able to find people who share my interest for maps, or who share my interest for video games, or whatever it may be, and I think that's pretty cool. So, go more places, and maybe meet some more people of some form. Whatever it is, you know, even if it's just like, oh yeah, let's do it this way, that way, whatever. I think that would be a cool goal for this year, because I think it makes for an interesting story every single time. And if it's awful, even if it's like the story of like, I think I've gone the worst day ever story. Again, you've all seen the video. That was a terrible night, but at least I can look back and laugh at myself, and I like having some memories like that up there. So yeah, again, maybe have another successful, happy relationship. Maybe just have some weird stories. Whatever the end result of the year is, I'll take it either way. So the fourth goal is to go to more places, but to go to more different places. So again, this is kind of vaguish in the wording, but I want to. So my favorite type of place to go is like an urban, I guess you call it like a megapolis, an urban area. Like I love cities basically because they have all the garbage, and they're usually like a little bit, you know, they're kind of a little bit similar all the way around the world. Like even if you take New York and London, there's a lot of similarities actually. If you take Warsaw and Madrid, there's a lot of similarities actually. I'm trying to think of places I've been and like if they are similar. Cookie, soon, there's just a video going on. But yeah, if you take a lot of cities which are vastly different, there's actually a lot of similarities with them, and I guess it'd be nice to just because a lot of people always tell me like, no, you gotta go check out like this tiny village in the middle of nowhere, or like this lake or this waterfall. I think it'd be interesting to see like at least a few different places in terms of like, one, I want to go to like so there's I guess like a tiny country that's like smaller than a city I'd normally go to. I'd like to go to like a few places that are like well known despite being off the beaten path. I'd also like to travel perhaps Cookie, not right now. But I just like to travel to, I swear to some people, like, they probably think I'm just doing this really, like, good act with, like, this pretend cat in my lap. Anyway, but, and then I'd also like to perhaps travel more of the, like, because, again, I think traveling by myself is something I really like. A lot of people think that's weird, but something I really do quite like. But there's also a lot of stuff to be said for certain trips with other people. Like, I really liked going to Ukraine. I think it was this year. Kiev. I really did quite like that. Kiev and the Chernobyl. Sorry. The big the radiation place. It'd be cool to do that again, but like this time, you know, or like do something like that. Sorry, again. So yeah, go to different places. You know, whether it is like somewhere where there was just a natural disaster, whether it's like just this really bizarre quirk of nature, whether it's just like a really tiny, you know, cute little town in the Arctic Circle, or what, Greenland or Iceland, and the little. I know there's just like a few places where I guess I normally wouldn't consider going. I should try those because let's get some diversity in the travel. While I'm still young and can actually afford to make changes without being like, oh no, it'll ruin my life. But yeah, 4 goals so far. 5th one, jet ski. New Year's resolution, jet ski. So that is, I guess we want to actually be specific. Not to own one because I might not like it, but to at least try it twice. At least twice. I'm going to try like somewhere in the UK, somewhere probably really far abroad or whatever. I'm going to jet ski. Learn to jet ski, try a jet ski, and maybe, again, if the jet ski fund allows it, then it will happen. So, 5 goals this year, like, I guess professional success, but professional seems weird when you're talking about YouTube and weird books and stuff. Oh, hello, Cookie. She's putting her paw up at me. Second goal is to do something I don't like every day and in my routine. 3rd goal, more people, more, and in general, more places, or more just, I guess, let's just go with the same goal, like more people, more dates. Nice and vague. You know, maybe the exact same thing happens this year. It's like a literal repeat. Because again, I think last year, even if it ends badly, the experience was still very enlightening, and it was happy. I've learned that there are some generally kind, nice people, and that's a good thing to learn. The 4th thing is go to very different places than I went to this year. Because I love city. I'm gonna still check out all the biggest cities in Europe, I'm sure, and the world, I guess. They'd also like to check out, like, okay, so, not Transylvania, Club Napok, I think it is. There's a vampire part from Romania. I'll check that out, I guess. It's gonna be interesting, for sure. Stuff like that, I think I'm gonna check out in this year. So, oh, and then jet ski. So that is my 5 New Year's resolutions for this year. Let's hope I get a higher score than, like, 2.5, which I got last year. Wait, that would be, let's do the maths on top of my head. 62.5%. Let's see if we can beat that in 2017. So I hope you did all enjoy this video. And I guess second channel, don't care. Goodbye.